Hey, it's Chad Smith here on Drumeo. Let's go record shopping. Good thing about record stores, it does help when they kind of, here's the punk section, here's the country section, Frank Sinatra. So when I was growing up in my house, my dad loved music, but he wasn't a musician, but he loved music. And his go-to in my house was Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, and of course, Johnny Cash. And I got to play with Johnny Cash one time. Rick Rubin was doing a record with Johnny Cash, called me up on the phone, that's how long ago this was. What are you doing? I'm just having dinner, Rick, what's up? He's like, do you want to come down and record down at Ocean Way with me tonight? I'm like, yeah, great, who is it? He goes, don't worry, you're gonna like it, just be down there, at 7 o'clock. I'm like, oh, okay, cryptic. Anyway, I get down there and take my motorcycle down, I get there first. As I get closer, I see this guy in black clothes, glasses down here with a guitar. And as I get closer, I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking Johnny Cash. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was a pretty awesome experience for me. One of my highlights for sure. All right, we're in the rock section. Hey, this one doesn't go here. This one's lost. Rolling Stones, they have a lot of records. I guess they've been around for a while. Elton John, so lucky to play on Elton John's last record. That was super cool. Of course, they don't have the one I'm on. Deep Purple, Ian Pace. What a drummer, what a band. My first Purple record that I really got into was Machine Head. I wore that one out. That's like an amazing album. Ian Pace's drumming, the first thing I ever tried to play along to was right in the intro, tat, 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 tat. And I was like, I can't do that. What? I met Ian, we played these concerts in England and we did a clinic together. And he was so kind to say yes to doing a drum seminar thing, the two of us. Yeah, I was just, came over to my house one time later and I cooked a dinner for him and we got talking so much that I just completely burned the steak that I was cooking for him. It was like a fucking hockey puck by the time I felt so bad. I really loved Chicago and Danny Surfing, yeah. Played along to a lot of those records. In the beginning, I had this t-shirt when I was a kid, and they used to be the Chicago Transit Authority before they just cut it down to Chicago. I loved playing along to those records, super cool. So here's this band, Led Zeppelin. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're up and comers. So this got a whole lot of love on it. Obviously one of the first songs that I listened to on my little radio next to my bed when I go to bed, and the middle section of that, the whole freak out psychedelic thing, I was just like, what is this? But the grooves in Led Zeppelin and John Bonham, probably the greatest rock drummer ever. So Good Times, Bad Times on the first record, and when you drop the needle on Led Zeppelin 1 and it's the first thing, ga-ga, you're like, ga-ga, da-da, you're just like, holy shit. Here he is, like coming right out of the gate with all of his Bonham stuff, doubles, the cool patterns, triplet fills, the sound. Favorite Zeppelin album? I would probably go for Physical Graffiti because it's like a double album. You get more. For recording, I think that was their peak. I think if you're a rock and roll drummer or any kind of drummer, definitely a rock drummer, if you don't do your John Bonham phase or are interested or try to play like him or sound like him, he's the one guy that I think you have to dig deep into. So we got him on the lessons and I try my best. Here we go with some Sab. God bless Black Sabbath, man. This record, holy shit. Look at Ozzy. Yeah, Ozzy! I love you all! He's so fucking great. They thank the Coke company on the back. They must have drank a lot of Coke. Songs like Snowblind. I don't know, but when you're like 12, you're like, oh, Snowblind, they must have got stuck in the snow. I didn't know they had. They're like so cool. They're so scary, and like this is back when you didn't see MTV or maybe a picture in a magazine or something, but you looked at the album cover and you opened the, I'm not gonna open it, but the gatefold, and you put it on and it's like, boom, you're like, ah! So this record, I got to make with Ozzy. Oh, I got both of them. It's a freaking Ozzy commercial. So I got to help write all these songs, and there's Ozzy peeing in the producer's planter at the studio. It's like, yeah, put that on the back. Fucking Ozzy, man, that's what he does. So cool. I miss him so much. He's so fucking cool, man. A lot of fun making this record, and Duff McKagan was a big part of it. We wrote a lot of the music with him, me, Andrew Watt, and we produced and played guitar on a lot of it. Hey, there he is. Me with a bunch of other people. I don't know if you ever heard of these guys. Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Taylor Hawkins, Tony Iommi, Mike McCready from the Pearl Jam, Duff McKagan from the Guns N' Roses, Robert Trujillo from Metallica, and Zakk Wylde from Ozzy. Like, not bad. So this one like rocked album of the year and a Grammy or something. Did really good. Ozzy was so happy with it. Yeah, we love Ozzy. Got to play at that last show with him. I played with like Hagar, and there was some drumming with some other drummers, Travis Barker, Danny Carey. Really fun. And this whole spirit of the concert was just incredible. Everyone was there to pay tribute to Ozzy and Black Sabbath in their hometown, the stadium full of people. What a send-off for Ozzy. And he was so happy afterwards. He was just, I love this. This is why I do this. And he was just very happy with the whole thing. Went great. That was a lot of fun. Queen, I loved Queen. Oh my God. This record with Ogre Battle, I wore this out. So Roger Taylor was a big influence on me, his playing and this music, and a lot of great Queen records, obviously. The White Stripes, Jack White, Meg White from Detroit. This album is a masterpiece, regardless of hype. Interesting quote. Great band, Meg White, great drummer, love her. So happy they got in the Hall of Fame this year, well deserved. I hope they play. I want to see her play. I haven't seen her play in a long time. Vanilla Fudge with Carmine, big influence supposedly on Bonham. They were friends, they toured together. When Zeppelin first came over to the States, some of their first shows, Zeppelin was opening for the Fudge. Carmine got Bonham his like Ludwig deal, his endorsement. He's supposedly, John's like, Carmine had those big drums. He goes, I want a set just like yours. So, and Bonham had double bass for a minute, and I don't know if it was Jimmy Page or somebody else. It's like, it's too much. You don't need that. Get rid of the other one. You did plenty with one foot. The Who. So many great records, man. We stole this kind of thing for our record, Stadium Arcadium. We took pictures with the helmets. Oh yeah, my brother had this meaty, beady, big and bouncy record. Is this supposed to be kind of like them looking at their older version? Is that the idea here? Oh, okay, there we go. Who's Next and Quadrophenia were like just master classes. So yeah, those records. Quadrophenia is maybe my favorite. I have a sentimental connection to that one. Cause like, I don't know, at that time I just wore it out. Love that record. The Real Me is pretty impressive. So I get to play those songs for our lessons. A lot of fills. A lot of fills. Keith Moon. Loved to use the whole drum set. Hit everything. But there was a method to his madness. It's pretty interesting that he was really such a great musician, such a great listener. I think it's just random, but like, and maybe some of it is, probably because he improvised, but the overall, like, I think he saw the big picture of the music, not like, I'm gonna play this part in the verse and this part in the chorus, like sometimes people think. Unbelievable. One of my favorites. Just doing shit that nobody did before. What a personality, and brought the drums out front, Keith Moon is not going to be held in the back. I'm sure if he could, he probably would have moved Daltrey out of the way and put the drums at the front of the stage, you know? Yeah, arguably, again, one of the greatest and one of the most unique. When you hear The Who and you hear Keith Moon playing, you know who it is. When you hear John Bonham playing with Led Zeppelin, you know who it is. When you hear Ian Pace and his swing and his thing with Deep Purple, and of course, Bill Ward. Something in the water in England, so must have been a great time to be over there on that island, yeah. Oh, they still have some left. You guys didn't like completely, oh, there's the Mother's Milk, that's that guy's record. Cool store. Hey, it's Chad on Beach Street here in Vancouver, doing a little record shopping and checking out some of the music, some of the drummers, some of the bands that I'm going to be doing in my course. Thank you to Drumeo for having me up here and being a part of this. They've been so kind to partner with my foundation, Chad Smith Foundation, and get instruments in people's hands and teaching and education, all good stuff. So let's go, it'll be fun. Come on! They're the blueprint for what I think is the greatest rock drumming out there. Everything is swinging so f***ing hard. The Legends of 70s, I like that. That's got a nice ring to it. The course focuses on 4 drummers. John Bonham, arguably the greatest rock drummer of all time. This way that he played, he had the funk element, the Motown element. Ian Pace, I really feel that he's one of the best listeners, and the most important thing for a musician is to be a great listener. And then, of course, there's Bill Ward. He's basically a jazz drummer playing in like one of the heaviest bands ever. You know these songs so well, they're so iconic. That's so f***ing fun to play that shit. Who? Keith Moon? He's doing crashes in the middle of fills. Like, who did that? When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, what? You could do that? This course is really like close to my heart because this is me going back to the drumming and the music that I grew up on. It takes me back to like literally being in my basement in Detroit, putting headphones on and playing along. I think all musicians, no matter what level that you're at, you hit kind of plateaus. If you're stuck, it might help you get unstuck. And you figure out like, oh, this guy does a triplet like this, and then that's like a key that opens the lock, and all of a sudden, oh, I can apply that to this. I am so excited to share all this drumming from my heroes with you guys. We're gonna do a big launch and then we're gonna do a live thing and I'm gonna be there. And also, a percentage of this is gonna go to my foundation, which is Drumeo people. It's so awesome to partner with us. So I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, we'll all like do this together. It's gonna be cool. Check out the Legends of the 70s with me. And it's on the Musora